Cool. Trying to get everybody in. We got a few, so cool. I gotta make sure mine's in. All right, guys, welcome. We usually start about 5. I usually give people until about 5:01 usually. John, what's up? How are you? Got your message today, responded to it. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. Don't think I've been on one of these calls, so I'm definitely interested in seeing how it goes. But um,
yeah, and it's not something that's unheard of. I mean, that we just haven't done it because my background's in the real estate stuff, and so I try not to get into too many areas that I don't have experience in. Because then
sure.
I don't have the resources for it, like all the files and stuff you guys see that I have downloaded for you guys. I don't have any of that. I can just say there's a couple of people that probably do some business stuff. Like I know Brian Kramer, he's kind of in our group but kind of
Hmm.
peripheral. He's kind of interested in that. So would be Tam or Tam Wynn. Tam's been there's gonna be some people on tonight in Life Changing Zoom because they're going through their affiliate program, which a lot of them came out of our group. I'm happy because it's a great way for people to earn some passive income. It just ended up being
Who's affiliate program?
Life Changing Lending, which is one of our like they've been in our with our group for about a year, and they do a lot of the loans in our group. I mean, they're big. They lend their own money. They have about 150, 200 lending partners, so they got all kinds of stuff. And they do conventional mortgages. Like they just came out with a lending program for 100% for like people with W-2s, which is
Okay.
for mortgages. They can do conventional mortgages as well. So, which none of us can touch because we're not licensed, but they have an affiliate program. People get paid for bringing deals to them.
Nice.
They just revamped it. Like I have a link. They just revamped it so people have a thing they can send to people. They fill out the questions. It gets submitted, and then you get like 10% of their proceeds. So if the loan's
Okay.
going to make them 10,000, they pay $1,000, which is pretty good. It makes 30 grand. They pay 2 grand. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
will
pretty
definitely check that out. Yeah.
yeah.
Would it be
Casey.
best to post? So for like the business related funding, would it be best to post in the group instead of the Agents Gather, or what do you recommend?
Yeah, you really because Agents Gather is not going to be a great place for it either. I mean, it might get picked up a little bit in the Google, but again, that's so focused on real estate. You'd be better off just putting a group and see if anybody's can is has a because there's people that may have never told me that they're not that they can do that. That's
Right.
always a possibility that people do. And the other person then you tag me. If you post that and tag me and put at name Marshall, then I'll try to send the people that I know kind of have maybe an outside interest in it. Maybe at least they know somebody they can connect you with.
I
Um,
think you could probably do both as a hybrid. And then once, just to get started, because once we get this thing going with reindeer, it should accelerate. So we're close enough now that, if you at least get everything set up like a platform, you'd be ready to go whatever direction it takes
well,
you.
he's doing a. It's more like his question, Kevin, is he want is like a business stuff,
Yeah, it's
related. Yeah,
you
but
can
we're
click
not
it
really.
and just
Yeah,
get your platform
I,
set up
I'm
because
just
it'll
saying that it's.
carry itself.
Well, I'm just saying on Agents Gather, it's probably not a great place because Danny doesn't have a lot of people. I mean, you could. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it's free. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just telling you that it's probably you may want to just send a support question to him, to Danny, and on his website on Agents Gather, just ask him how he would, what he would advise. He's pretty open to things now than he will be when it's slammed and we can't flood it with a lot of other outside of real estate stuff. Right now he's open. He's letting people open multiple groups and stuff. So it's kind of
Okay.
cool. And then we
I
got
mean,
some.
I've definitely got some real estate stuff for tonight too. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm gonna introduce you. You're on first. I'm gonna try to go around the group real quick. I think a lot of people that are regularly here, some won't be on, but some of them are in life changing things. They do Tuesday nights. They're doing Thursday nights because he's trying to catch everybody up. Anybody that's interested in that, I'll connect with Casey. Life changing is awesome. I mean, they and Gwen came in at the same time, and that kind of took us in the direction of where because I was gonna build. We were going to build this whole reindeer thing. It was called something else, Private Money University. We were going to build it 4 or 5 years ago, and then when they came on it, like I'll just basically combine everything. It just means that I have one thing I'm working on that covers everything, rather than having three things that I'm working on. they kind of take, that way they take up my time and my bandwidth if I have to separate them. Or otherwise,
Yeah,
it's all.
like that you can. The people that are involved with this can also be able to they duplicate the same process, but tailor make it to whatever they're doing and be able to market much the same way, and then be able to interact with everybody else that's there. So it's very unique. It's really strong and it has a lot of room for growth in it. So, again, I don't think it'd be hard for you to get with that. And if you were to get with Danny, he's got a lot of experience both in marketing with Google as well as the real estate element because he's basically a broker and he's been there forever up there, and probably the third largest market in the United States. So it would be good for you to be able to do that and at least get on it set up. Doesn't take a whole lot to get that done, and then just basically adjust it as it creates its own momentum. And then things are going to come up that you're going to get into later down the road that you don't even think about right now. It may not even exist, but you'll be in a position to be able to stay ahead of it. And instead of reacting, you're going to be able to actually lead the pack, which is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get everybody in a position of leadership as a group to be able to put their own talents in there and make it unique enough to carry weight where everybody else is going to get in here and actually see this thing is real. It's not full of crap. There's not a bunch of scammers in it. You know how that goes, right? And that's kind of where this is going. And it won't take very long to get there. And we're right on the cusp of getting that done right now. So, I would think it would behoove you to go both routes and don't worry about it. And then, the thing about this reindeer thing is if you know something and you have a specialty that you have, you can put together education modules on that darn thing as well. So it helps your brand. It helps you get to know, people get to know you, and it all works better that way. And that's how this thing is designed to work.
Yeah, and I'll once we're ready for that for people to put their own modules up, I'm gonna have to put some of mine up first because I need to make sure that we get all the kinks worked out. We'll start putting our modules up in August, so we'll have an idea, what LearnDash actually requires for videos, and then and then everybody will there'll be some revenue sharing and stuff like that. Cool. Hey, Michael, what's up? How you feeling, buddy? Man, hopefully you feel better. I'll get to you in a minute though. Let me because I got some new people on. I like to do the new people first to make sure I introduce everybody. So John, let's start with you then, because you're on first as well. First time. I know you've been in the group for a couple months now. So why don't you introduce us, tell us where you're from, what you've done, and what you're doing, and all that stuff, and then I'll go to Lashonda because she's new, and I'll go back to kind of go around after that.
Sure. Yeah, I've been in for a few months. I've not been as active as I would like, just because life gets in the way. I do a couple things, but pertinent to this call, I'm an integrator for a real estate investment company out of St. Louis. They actually have their own portfolio, but a few years ago they started a Done For You real estate investing program for regular folks. A lot of times, this is the kind of stuff that hedge funds invest in. That's for accredited investors. We figured out a way to do it to make it available to regular folks. Obviously, usually people that make 250, 300K or more, because we help them leverage conventional financing in addition to our creative financing to get there. But the whole point of it is we're trying to build everybody to a portfolio value of at least $5 million over 10 years with single family homes. And initially I reached out to Nate because I was looking to do it because I'm fairly new to the company myself. I've been here with them for 3-4 months, just stepped into the integrator role. And I don't have the capital to have him build out my portfolio, but I'd like to. So initially it was a request for information on building private money, but potentially if anybody else wants that kind of service, be happy to have that conversation as well.
Yeah, we've
Appreciate the platform name. Yeah.
Yeah, we picked up actually a few people in the last couple of days that are strong. Actually, Dominic's he's just joined us in the last week. We also got another gentleman that joined, Philip Sparks. I don't know if Philip's going to be on. He joined yesterday. We got a lot of people that are looking at that more, and I'm not saying higher level. I just mean it's a lot more money, doing private money and a little bit more. It's kind of what we were doing before with Kevin and Jesse and Sean and I back a few years ago. We were doing some projects. If you guys go on the files tab and you look up Blue Sky and you look up offering memorandums for PPMs, that's what we were doing a few years. I put that stuff in there as reference because when you start getting with SEC, the world changes. It's not as easy as going out and getting, life changing to fund your flip or something, or you're getting, you're working with Gwen on your EMD or something like that. So welcome, definitely. And like I said, the other thing is we got a lot of people that are probably going to get to that point. They may not be there right now. So one of the good things for you, John, is too, is building relationships with people that you see in the group that are actually doing really, they're starting to do multiple properties, starting to do deals because they may be the next people you can work with. They may not be
Yeah,
quite there yet. Yeah, but they'll get
that was
there.
my point behind getting everything set up on both the group as well as the life changing and the agents gather platform. Because if you're there, you really can make it maneuver however you want to make it move, and you're going to be in the spot regardless of where this thing goes. Okay, and you're being in a position of leadership because you're going to know what's going on out here before a lot of other people do, and even the people you're working for may not know.
Yeah. So,
We got just a little background on me. I'm actually one of the founders of the private money industry. And Gwen is also in that category. So we actually have a lot of longevity going back there. All this stuff, all these tools that you guys are using came out of out of a meeting that we both attended back in 2010. And the Clinton, well, it wasn't the Clinton administration, but the Obama administration was looking to change some things. And we just happened to be there. She happened to be there with the Fed, and I happened to be there with a group. We were invited to go look at this thing. So we already had the playbook. We know how it works, why it works, where it's not going to work anymore, and we can pretty much forecast how it's going to look in the future. Because there's really, once you have that basic playbook, it's not hard to figure out where things are going. And if you're on that kind of a level with these kind of tools, with these kind of people that are in here, you've got a much better. I mean, you're in the sweet spot. You're in the catbird seat. There's just no other way to explain it. And with your particular knowledge and everything else, you're going to thrive here.
yeah, and I think you can use both. Use both our groups to tag me, and then on Agents Gathered, if you need to have a call with Danny. I know there's going to be about 10 or 12 people because we got some new people setting up with Danny. So on Agents Gather, I'll talk about it a little bit later about what people need to do to get on there, get their free account, and then get their premium. Danny has besides working on Agents Gather, he still has his realty business in Evergreen, and he's got another side job, and then he also helps coach football still. So there's 4 things, so he's pretty busy. He
started the football season now, so
yeah, he's filling in for MVP because they're still doing some stuff with checking players and some weird stuff. So yeah, John, so welcome. I'm glad you're finally here. Let me know what you need as far as help getting that on there, and then I'll connect with Danny. I'll try to get everybody connected with Danny who hasn't talked to him yet next week, just so I can check on his schedule. Because sometimes he's gonna go to a showing. He's gonna let me know, hey, I got a showing, and he may go to a showing even if he's gonna a lot of times he doesn't even know he's gonna be on a Zoom until he gets here. There is a video in the playlist. You guys will get a playlist with this tonight's video once I send it out. I'll send it in the group and I'll post it at Agents Gather. But in the group, if you hit it, it'll have a playlist of 226 videos. There is a video with Danny going into Agents Gather a little bit of some of the things you guys can do on there. But yeah, let me get to a few more people and then we'll come back. Just circle around just to make sure I got enough. Just to make sure I get everybody introduced, all the new people introduced, and then I will circle back around. So if you got more questions, John, then we'll kind of open it up. LaShonda, welcome. Are you able to speak sometime? Guys, if you're ever driving or anything, you just let me know, and then I'll come back to you when you can. But I try to introduce new people on their first Zoom first. So let me see, LaShonda, are you there? If not, if you're not able,
Hi everyone.
cool, welcome. Hey,
Sorry, I got my toddlers and I'm traveling. I'm in Chicago for a closing, and I bring my toddlers with me, so it's a little noisy. So I
Yeah.
apologize. But I wanted to jump on and just quickly introduce myself. My name is LaShonda McMahon. I'm an investor based out of the Midwest. I'm originally from Chicago. That's currently where I'm at now, but I live in St. Louis. So John, I would love to connect with you and see what you're doing in St. Louis, because that's pretty much where I got started investing in real estate. I have multiple investment properties there, and my primary residence is there currently. I'm focusing currently on 4 flips, 2 of them in the St. Louis area, and then 1 is here in Chicago. I just closed on it today. It's 2 dwellings on 1 lot. It's a coach house in the back, and when we're done, it'll be 4 units, all rented for affordable housing. So my focus is affordable housing. I plan to, that's my toddlers in the back. They are 3 and 1, and they are pretty much always with me. But my focus is affordable housing. The plan is to build affordable housing for multifamily townhomes to rent out, and then build affordable housing for sale units. So single family units, townhouses to resell. We'll also be renovating some multifamilies in order to provide house hacking strategies for newer investors that will be able to qualify for FHA. That's how I acquired my first building with my fiance. So I would love to, give back and share how we got our first building. We used grants. So my goal is to basically just build properties and build our portfolio while we're also helping our communities.
That's awesome. So let me tell you also some good news. So besides you and John, we have Anita Prices and does a lot of stuff in St. Louis. She also does Springfield. We also have Scott Strickland, who's been with our group actually since 2019. He's in Springfield. Kevin, who's on, is my business partner, is in Kansas City. We have another Kevin Anderson, who hasn't been as active. I got to check on him next week. He's in Kansas City as well. So you do have a lot of resources in Missouri, which is pretty strong, which is good. So all you guys that are in Missouri, we're actually pretty strong there. And then also Michael, who's on Gene's iPhone. And he's in Florida, but he's from Illinois, so he does a lot of stuff there in that area as well, Missouri and stuff. So we do have quite a bit of resources in that area. The other thing is a lot of our lenders do a lot of work in Missouri, and so does also Cameron and Willie with their Midwest Monster program. You guys have seen me post a little bit about it, which is a great program. I'll get around to if you got questions on it. I just want to make sure I make sure I get everybody new, and I get everybody kind of. I usually do a round robin, and then we kind of open it up a little bit so everybody can kind of start chiming in on. You feel free. You guys can use the chat, and you can chat back, share information. If there's anybody that you do want to talk to, just let me know. You guys will talk on the, and I'll connect you guys in the morning when I do my. Usually about the morning between about 8:30 and about 9 o'clock in the morning, my time in Denver. I will actually just connect you guys on Messenger. Once I see you talking, then I'll leave the conversation. Otherwise, my phone goes ding, ding, ding all day. So I make sure you guys are all make sure you guys are all connected. And then if you guys need lenders and all that stuff, what I always tell people is post in the group. And in our group, you can feel safe that you can put a lot more information than you do normally in most groups, because you see how a lot of people are vague because they don't want to give too much information. We are never going to have a problem in our group where people are daisy chaining, and everybody wants you to succeed in our group. That's the beauty of being on a group where you actually get to talk to people face to face on a Zoom. You get to know people. You know what their hobbies are. She's not here tonight. She doesn't come on Thursdays, but Ginger plays bass in her church band. So you know those kind of hobbies. You know what people like to do and why they're doing it. I think it helps people want to do business. You want to see people succeed. That hey, sometimes after about an hour and a half, Jesse and Kevin can tell you we'd have to turn the recording off because we get into a lot of sometimes it's pretty interesting. Sometimes it's we kind of I have to kind of cut back on the recording side because we'll get a little. I just tell people we have a good time. It's casual. You don't have to worry about, don't feel bad if you can't make one. I'll make sure that there's always a recording. I'll give you guys an update later after I do the round robin on what we're going to be doing with Ari in August, and we're gonna have to do a couple weeks of the analyzers and calculators first. But let me go ahead and finish this round robin where I just make sure I introduce everybody. So welcome, Lasanda. We'll be in touch on whatever you need for resources. Let me know. You know where to find me on Messenger.
Absolutely. Thank you. I look forward to connecting with everyone.
All right. Let me reach out to Dominic. So he's next. Hey, Dominic, what's going on? Your second Zoom.
Hello.
Hey.
So my name is Dominic Austin. I live in South Bend, Indiana. I represent a company called Entrepreneur Funding Experts, which is located in the Chicago area. Something I specialize in mainly is in real estate. So gap funding, our gap funding is unsecured. It doesn't require collateral, and also we do hard money loans too as well. We have private money lenders, hedge funds, and sometimes credit unions within our network.
Which is awesome. So it's cool. And I saw your posts on a couple places. So definitely, yeah, some quality marketing. because I like
Thank
people
you.
who actually put some good stuff together. You know, I use Canva. I try to be a little bit more. People are like, "Hey, you're generic," but I try to be a little bit like people said, "You're like the realest guy that we see." People enjoying that because they like the fact that I do everything myself and I'm not like, which I won't be able to do for very long. I'll tell you guys why. Because once I'm building all the content and all that, I kind of then have to start going to sponsored ads. And people know,
Yes.
you know, once you're trying to get bigger and do what we're doing, unfortunately, with you guys, I'm always going to be like, we're always going to have at least one weekly Zoom. We may not have two once we start getting subscribers and all that. It just becomes a use of time, you know. But I'm always going to be available. The associates, this whole group is, and this whole thing with reindeer and all that that's starting now is I want everybody here to be like the key leaders and basically be the people who are kind of teaching new people. You know, if you feel comfortable, if you don't, that's cool. Everybody can do what they want to do. I mean, this is a great group. It's like use your strengths and try to build strength. If you know, if you're a little short on somewhere, you don't feel bad if you want to do something in the future, you don't feel kind of you're ready for it. We're gonna get you ready for it. You're gonna be able to. You have some incredible talent in the group right now that's on the Zoom. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, Dominic, I appreciate that. And then you know, feel free anybody connect with Dominic because his company has some great loan products and he can help you with a lot of stuff. Like we're getting stronger and stronger. I think 4 out of our last 5 people that have joined have been lenders or people in EMD gap space, and that really is critical. I want to make sure that as we build these people, you guys never feel like, hey, there's a lot more people now than lenders have capacity. We always are going to make sure that we have capacity. It's like I think it's a ratio about 1 to 5, maybe 1 to 10, making sure
Mhm.
we have one lender for every 10 people. Really, you know, depending on what they're doing. You know, and some lenders have a couple $1,000. You know, they're doing an EMD loan through Glen. They don't have 50,000 or 100,000. Some do, and they can, you know, they have a lot more flexibility. So I try to respect that and say, you know, do what you want to do what you feel comfortable with. If somebody wants to loan $2,500 of their own money for an EMD loan, and they want to charge 20% or whatever, 25%, that's up to them. They can do that, and Glenn will set them up.
Yeah.
And then we got some other people doing different. Brian Sullivan, Jackson. We got some people doing some pretty good EMD gap hard money. So it helps to have capacity in our group, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm like, yeah. And then you guys, everybody in the group, feel free in the EMT and gap group, those free ones that I have, to go in there and start like taking them over. I'm going to start running out a lot of people that are bad lenders. So feel free to get in those groups and start like almost taking them over because you guys will have you'll pick up a lot of knowledge, expertise, partners, things here, resources. Go into those free groups that I have and you guys can start just, you know, doing deals with people that are outside the group. And then once we get reindeer going, there'll eventually be a referral affiliate program where if you recruit people, you know, you'll get a little bit more, you know, there'll be some revenue sharing pool for recruiting. We'll go into that a little bit more. Let's get to another couple of people, but yeah, thanks, Dominic. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So let me go to Sheena real quick. She's still here. Sheena, you came in next, and then then I'm going to be a little bit challenged on who to. I try to bring people in the order they come in, or if somebody's like, we have some international people or we have some East Coast people, it's starting to get late. I'll try to bring them in on first. So, but yeah, welcome, Sheena. This I think your 4th or 5th one.
Thank you very much. I think this is about my 3rd meeting is how
Yeah.
that goes. Investor, multifamily properties between 8 to 65 units. North Carolina and Kentucky is my 2 markets. Is how that goes. And still looking to get in connections with Jamie.
Okay, I will. I know he's been. I will. I'll do that tonight. I'll try to, as soon as we're off, I'll try to connect you guys. I know he's been dealing with a few people in the group, so it may be just time management, which is not a bad thing on him. He's just, you know, Jamie's awesome. Everybody that knows Jamie gets a lot of deals done. So I'll make sure I work on that and get that done for you. So I know you've been trying to reach out to him. So, but yeah, that's a good, where are you actually at? I kind of forget. I'm sorry.
I am based out of Maryland.
Okay. So you're actually gonna be close to Jesse, who's one of my partners. Jesse was this year. He sometimes comes and goes. He's in Maryland, but you also got some other people up that way. We got Ruben Roberto, who's up by Newburgh, New York, by West Point. So Maryland, Massachusetts, that kind of area. We have a lot of people, Pennsylvania. So that whole Northwest and that kind of area, the colonies, I guess. I just watched a George Washington miniseries on the colony. So I guess it's just a joke, but Hey, those areas we got a lot of people. It's just kind of like Missouri. It's kind of like California. We have a lot of Texas. We have a lot of people. Florida. We have a lot of people now. And in a minute, I'm gonna bring Laura on. We got two people in Washington, which we were short on the Pacific Northwest forever. So yeah, definitely welcome. I will make that connection tonight. I'll reach out to Jamie and put you on the and CC you. So that way when you guys are both talking, then I know you guys connected.
Thank
So,
you very much.
okay, cool. Let me bring Laura on and then I'll go to Sean because that'll be a good episode. So Laura, how are you? How's how's your you're in Seattle, Tacoma, right?
Good. Yeah. Things are good in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey,
Um,
it's an area I've always wanted to go to, so maybe I'll have to venture up that way.
the what? I missed that.
No, I said it's always an area I want to go to. I want to visit because
Uh,
my sister, like I said, my sister lives in Tigard, Oregon, so it's
Yeah.
kind of I can jump up to Washington pretty quick, I guess. Like
You could.
she works at Intel in Portland.
I was
So
gonna say it's pretty inexpensive flight on Frontier.
yeah, it's just I haven't been up that way, and I need to go up there. I mean, I missed all my nephews and nieces. They're like all in their 20s now, growing up there, so it's kind of hard when that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
so what are you? I know you've been working on some things. I just want to make sure I'm caught up in the group and
yeah,
see
so
if anybody wants to help you.
we've been doing some fix and flips and buy and holds and looking to scale into larger units. So we'd like to do larger multi-units. So that's what we'll be working on here in the near term, but we never pass by a good fix and flip either. So
Cool. Yeah, let me know who you need if you need contact with anybody, if there's anybody you're expecting to contact, and just to make sure I like I said, I like to see people. Then once I know people are talking, I'll leave the conversation. I know you were trying to talk to a couple people in the group, so
yeah,
a couple
I was
weeks
gonna
ago.
say, yeah, you're pretty good at doing the connection thing. So I
I like
appreciate
to
that you,
yeah, I like to do that to make sure everybody's connected, and sometimes it's because sometimes some people do get busy and they just get they get a lot of closings and things, and we'll bring up after bring Sean up, I'll bring Michael up if you guys want to talk about a lot of closing. But and so is Sean. Sean does a lot of stuff too. So let me bring Sean up real quick. So what's going on, dude? How's Ohio?
Hello. Ohio
Hey,
is always entertaining.
yeah, good place.
So
Good.
Ohio brings that I mean, I have, I guess, 6 right now, projects that I just kind of manage. So 2 of them are in Texas, 1 is in Indianapolis, and the other 3 are here in Ohio, and just managing through. They're all mid rehab. 3 of them are going to be rental properties, and the other 3 are going to be flips. But Ohio is and I'm just fascinated by this, the economy and the economic development. So the businesses, the companies that are coming in specifically to Columbus, and what it's doing to the real estate that's in kind of a small I-70 interstate corridor here, east of Columbus. And it's funny that I hear everybody really specific to their plan and their kind of buy box, and it seems to me like I always have to learn something that I'm unfamiliar with. And I respect, I love, Nate, how you say, oh, I'm not familiar with that, I'm going to learn that. And so lately I found that here in Ohio, and I don't know if it's every market or if it's just an Ohio thing, but Section 8 is paying over 100% of market rents. So if you can find properties that qualify for Section 8, then you can value add, right? By Section 8 for whatever reason will pay over market rent for properties that you have that are rentals that you can make available.
Yeah.
And so I don't know a whole lot about that, and I'm really interested in learning, more about that.
Well, Section 8, it's like what Jesse's doing with his acquisition. I think if it goes through, is there's the health department. They got people that are on health needs, and they basically pay for it. And
Right.
it's all, and that's
But
awesome. It's not like people that are, I don't know, Section 8 is because people get a bad. connotation. Back when I was doing the storm restoration business, my friend Paul and I had, who's going to be the CFO of Reindeer. Paul and I got a contract with the Denver Housing Authority, and it blew my mind
Right.
because we had to go up there and do roofing on the houses. They own a lot of houses. They don't just own buildings where people live. And so we went out and interacted with all the people and got to know them. And we actually put a letter out because, you know, they didn't want satellite dishes. And they're like, well, you guys can take down the satellite dishes. I said, as soon as we take down the first satellite dish, we're the ones my crews are the one who get yelled at. So we went
Right.
out there. We're the first ones whoever had contracts with them they said that ever actually took the time to care about the people and we told them, I said, hey, we're going to take your satellites down. If you have any questions, call them, not us. You know,
Right.
we went out and talked to them, introduced ourselves.
But
So I
that's
have,
kind of my thing, is that my background is in that in Denver. I worked for Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, right? And
Yeah.
so my background being nonprofit and being that, you know, that housing and transitional housing sector, I remember a time 10, 15 years ago now that Section 8 was underpaying, that landlords who were locked into Section 8 were grumbling, and it was all, you know, just this kind of side voice in my ear that you know, Section 8 landlords weren't happy with what they were working with. But I guess it may be like everything, the pendulum swings, and I think the pendulum is on the you know, kind of, I guess Section 8 is the way to go now.
all right. Hey, thanks, Dominic. We'll catch up. So yeah, Dominic.
I want to talk soon, Dominic. I'm going to reach out to you. It's really good to meet you.
Yeah, let me drop my phone number in here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to write, if you want to post it in the chat, or yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
And,
everybody,
I can-
yeah, and I can connect you guys on Messenger too.
okay, I was going to say I can
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
drop my Facebook link as well too.
Yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. Yeah, but so that's a pretty interesting area, Sean, is that Section 8, because
Right.
I don't know how, you know, I don't know how the housing worked, because when I was brokering and I started working with Kogo and Vizio and all them, they didn't, obviously, you know, if people were doing rental properties, then they would have to have the rent rolls and the
Right.
leases and all that. That would help, but I never got to the point where I was actually doing this. I just had to collect the you know, the paperwork, but it's something I would be interested in, just because I understand that the government pays you hope the government pays on time. We always got paid well on our DHA contracts. It was like lucrative, man. It was like they just give us addresses. We went out, put roofs on, and build us, and then they screwed up and forgot to put some stuff in there, and then you went have to redo the bid. So like, just add layers, because they can't add squares, because they send the beam counters will go out there and count, or they can figure out how to
Right.
measure. So they should just add layers, because once you tear them off, they can't, you know, they don't know that you just tore off 5 layers when you tore off 2. You know, it's pretty. So we had a pretty good contract with that. So yeah, man, that's pretty good. I know I tried to reach out to Pippa, and she said she was, you know, she was slammed, which is awesome. So I know she's on what, 7 deals now. That's just since she joined this group with that 4th one she had with Willie, and she added that one with Willie and Cameron. So she's got 4 rentals now. So I don't know if you knew that. You know, she's got 4 rentals now. I think Willie told me that she has a 4th one now. Gotta unmute you.
Yeah, Pippa is a mover and a shaker.
Yeah, so she's gonna have 12 deals, 6 and 6 probably, if not more, by the end of the year, which is awesome. I really want to get her on at some point, just so she can get everybody up. You know, hey, everybody hears about her, but she's got so many deals. You know, you like to have that problem. Well, I'll see you guys in like 6 months. I got like 20 deals to go out and manage. I like that, you know, and then I can help other people get into that position. So that makes me feel good, because I mean, it was like, you know, she came in and hit the ground running. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of hitting the ground running, Michael, what's going on, dude? I know you had a rough week. We try to get you unmuted. Sometimes these mute things don't work too well.
Hey,
Yeah, there you are.
hey, what's going on?
Yeah, you look a little bit better than you Monday night.
Oh God, dude. Yeah, I'm still kind of bed bound. I'm home, but I'm bed bound and not really doing too much. Thank God for Jeannie. And she's had my phone a lot just so, you know, she can get work done. But anyway, how's everybody doing?
Cool. We'll probably start talking about that extended stuff next week before we actually announce it formally. But everybody knows Michael's working on an extended. It's kind of a extended transactional funding, which will be pretty awesome. You guys haven't heard about it, so I just want to just touch base on it, just to let you guys know it's going to be pretty exciting. Get excited because it's going to be pretty awesome what you're going to be able to do with it. You know.
Oh yeah, it's gonna give you guys. I mean, yeah, we got our gap lenders and our transactional, but those guys only go, they go short term. This will take you up to 6 months, and I mean, if you're willing to pay the premiums and the stuff, I mean, we might even be able to get some people to go out as far as a year. I know that Jeannie and I talked about it, and depending on what the interest rate and the points would be and what the offering is, we might be able to go longer than 6 months if necessary, if the deal makes sense and there's enough meat on the bone for everybody.
Yeah, that'll be a good deal. And then you got some closings coming up next year with MJ and Ryan, so that helps.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yep, guys. So, like I said, I've known Michael. Actually, he's probably one of the first people I met in the business. Not met. We actually never physically met, but I've been, talking to Michael for 8 years. So, there's some people out there like that, like Victor and stuff. Victor unfortunately passed away, but he is actually one of my partners before I ever met Kevin and Jesse. But yeah, so we got some good people out there. A lot of good people that I've known. Michael Steele, you guys know Tam Wynn, who's in our group, who works with Life Changing. I've known Tam just as long too. He was one of the first people. There's a lot of people that I competed against when I was a private money broker, and I'm still, friends with them because when people take care of people, I feel like if I'm going to lose a deal and I lose it to somebody like that, I don't have a problem with it because they're, I don't have, somebody's my competitor, but I know they take care of their people and they have a good reputation. And it just sometimes comes down to points or the lender or something in the situation. So Tam and Michael Steele and those kind of guys are awesome. Like I said, we've been talking to Michael for a while. Joined us about a month ago, and he's going to rock and roll with some stuff coming up. And then later on, after I go through a couple more people, get everybody through, I'll update you guys too on Agents Gather and then on Reindeer, some stuff, and then some stuff Ari's going to do. I haven't heard exactly on Ari's schedule, but yeah, so Michael, you got a lot of good stuff going on. We'll touch base maybe tomorrow or something when you feel a little bit better, get a little bit
Thank you.
stronger.
I'm gonna be on this
yeah,
call.
I've been- I know. I just got to make sure I get to everybody else. So let me
Yeah.
go ahead and bring up Kenny, and then I'll bring Chris and Matt, and then we got everybody. So Kenny, what's going on? How's Waco?
Waco is Waco. So I did get some news. So the first property that we dealt with last year, a year ago to this day, is officially sold and gone. So we were pretty happy about that. We have another property that has just been a nightmare. We're getting rid of that one tomorrow. I'm signing the paperwork on that. I have another one. The most recent one I did, on Cranbrook. We got an offer in at 312. We were asking 300. We bought it for a little right around 200. So, we made a decent improvement on it.
Well, it's always better when you get $12,000 more than you're asking.
Thank you.
And since these are kind of a bad deal for you, that at least
Yeah.
that should at least get you back, and then we can hook up and we can get you started fresh. And we got shit, dude. Look how many resources, how many people have joined in the last month that you can be.
Well,
dealing with now.
yeah. So basically, I've managed to another one that we were fixing up. We had listed for 286, and we'd done some improvements, and now we're at 315. So that's nice. So basically, I've cleared the deck, except for 2.
Well, and that'll happen, dude. It's like you sound like a much better place than you were a month ago.
I do, but I tell you what, that extended transactional, that could really help me right about now, on one of them, just to kind of give me some breathing room. But so I'm looking forward to getting more information on that.
Yeah, we'll have it pretty quick. I know Michael's just been dealing with his health stuff.
Oh
this
yeah, I
week,
know.
so.
Yeah, I remember Monday he was sick in the hospital Monday.
When you're Yeah, when you're zooming from the hospital. I mean,
You know
I
it's
did
bad.
that. I tried to do that. You guys, everybody remembers in March, there was a night that I was like, I did one from my friend's restaurant and I was just waiting for the ride to the hospital. I wasn't at the hospital. I did the Zoom, but yeah, I had a little bit of a, because I have a little bit of history, some TBI stuff in the military and stuff. But yeah, yeah, Mike, I'll connect Michael and Kenny. I'll connect you guys. I'll do it tonight as soon as we're off. That way you guys can at least connect and start talking about, that kind of stuff, what you're working on. Let me bring up Chris. So, what's going on, Chris? How's life changing? So I know Casey's doing his little thing tonight. I was supposed to be on the one on Tuesday, but I kind of sometimes I gotta actually take a night for myself. Yeah. So that was life changing lending.
Um, that's going fine. I really haven't done that much with them just because I have a lot going on with my regular job and then a couple
With
other
your own
deals.
lending. Yeah, with your own lending and stuff and those things. So that works. That's understandable. At least I just had to ask because it's like it's like trying to get a hold of those guys. That sometimes is hard. Is interesting. But no, what's anything else real estate wise outside of life changing? Any kind of things you've been seeing, or some
Yeah, I'm doing more of the like lease options or rent to own and some contract for deed. So I'm definitely getting into that, and that's why I mentioned kind of the St. Louis market and some of those. Those are really good
yeah,
markets to do contract for deed.
yeah, those are good areas. St. Louis is awesome, and like I said, we got so many people around St. Louis and Springfield now. And Kevin's not too far away, so that helps a lot. Having those enough people, or you could get some, people get some good deals and have some good people to work with.
Yeah, that market over there, if you want to look at some of the stuff that you need to know to get into something like that, back in 1934, there was 840,000 people. There's a sign, a welcome to St. Louis sign, on Route 66. And now they have roughly 210,000 people in that town. And the industry's pretty much folded up. So you're going to have a lot of opportunity for a market like that. But because you're there, puts you in a position where you can be the best of that market because you have those kind of terms. So it's not always bad to be in a spot like that to be able to do that.
Yeah, and Chris has a lot of experience, Kevin. He can definitely in the markets he's in, he can dominate. One of our more experienced people. So awesome, Chris. I appreciate it. Appreciate the update.
Yep.
Cool. Matt, what's going on? Matt's also been with us for 5 years. He's from the OG group we put together in 2019. What's going on?
On everybody.
Hey, that was Santa Barbara.
It's at its hottest in its like mid 70s, 80s or
Yeah.
something.
I always think about when people are like from the group in like Arizona where Cameron's at, and I'm like, oh, Kenny's gotta have some hot weather too. Florida, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not in I visit those places and I'm like happy to be in air conditioned when I'm at the going to a conference. It's like, yeah. But
Yeah, 84 in the house right now. And it's probably not even gonna get past 80 outside. For
did you
like
already start that class you were talking about?
yeah, I'm in week 4 of the class. I'm halfway through. It's like for government contracting, basically. It's like you have an entity. Government contracts on SAM.gov is like full and open competition. They have like
Oh yeah.
rules. Yeah, they have like rules and regulations on what can be on.
Oh yeah, I did that back in. You guys want to know a funny story? One time, because I did some contracting for a company, then I started my own company. And one weekend in 4 days, when I had a tooth extraction by the VA, I was at home for 4 days. I threw a bid in to bid on a contract in Iraq, knocked it out. I got second on the bid. If that was $1 million less, I would have got the bid at like $87 million. If I had to bid 86 million or under, I would have got the bid, and I would have still made like 6 million. I threw that over the weekend. So Matt, when you look at all these contracts, I think that while on painkillers after getting a tooth, dental surgery, I put a huge contract offer into the Army.
Oh
Just
wow,
my,
yeah,
just myself. Yeah, so you know how it goes if you're in a class for it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm still learning it, but once I get to that point, I'll probably reach out to you to get more clarification on certain aspects, and also,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we had, I mean, because there's a lot of people get a lot of, they were giving contracts away left and right. I mean, some of them went war. You guys know the War Dogs movie where the kids were basically selling ammunition and guns to the army. That was an interesting situation. But yeah, man. So let us know what we're doing on real estate because we want to, shit. You've been around for 5 years now with us, and there's Ari and Sean and all them. Sean's back. We got almost all the band back together.
it'd be
Uh,
great to know more about the Section 8. And I have my dad's I think a contractor, construction worker in San Antonio. So I want to find properties in that area where you can potentially, see if I
and
can
here's
take.
the thing, because I'm not on there right now. I mean, I don't. I'm assuming you're probably on Fed Biz Ops or whatever they're calling it now. There may be some opportunities with housing around that the military may be doing a lot of, where you could bid on some of that and you really could, get some real estate in those towns. Because I know just in Colorado Springs here, they're having to add a lot of housing because they're bringing more special forces and more pilots to Fort Carson. And I know that's happened in a lot of bases. And of course, it's hard because a lot of bases have changed names. You know, it's hard to keep up with all the name changes. Like I know what Bragg is and Benning is. I forgot what they changed Polk and Hood to. But yeah, let's talk. Yeah, and Chris just said he's in San Antonio, so that may be something we can also look at. Like I said, we can look at some of the government stuff that they're doing, primarily for the military, because they're always needing off-base housing. Most bases can't, and they just
Yeah,
they
I'm
just
on
raised.
call.
Oh, they're actually just like we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
100%. The military is actually doing 100% now on housing. Like they used to give you like a certain allowance, and now they're allowing people to get like, because housing got so expensive, around bases and stuff, and the people in the military, the military is getting one of its biggest raises ever. Like a colonel in the military is now making 180,000 a year plus all their housing benefits and their food and all that stuff. They don't they get a uniform allowance, but I'm saying a colonel, but a private at E1 is now making around 1,500 a month. When I was in the army, I got out as a captain, but when I was in the army, a private was making like 800 a month. Now they're making like 1,600, which, it doesn't seem a whole lot, but when you don't have any, expenses, it's pretty much, where a private's money's going. Put it that way, so, so yeah, let's talk about that in the future once you're a little bit more advanced, so we can look at the government website. A lot of data warehouses being built. Toyota, SpaceX, and Tesla. I mean, the X's. You guys heard that joke about Elon Musk? All my X's live in Texas because he's moving SpaceX and X, Twitter. They're all moving to Texas. So there's a lot of opportunity. Ohio is picking up. Like Sean, you can talk to Sean about that. There's a lot of stuff going on in Ohio. So there's a lot of opportunity out there to get housing. SpaceX. Yeah, they're gonna build whatever is it called Starbase is gonna be the city. It's kind of like what Bezos has for Blue Ridge and whatever. I forget the town. It's like straight down from Denver too, right in Texas. Right down the street from Las Cruces where I was fire chief, the county fire chief. But that's kind of interesting. So let's see if we can explore this. Everybody, we can explore it as a group. There's a lot of opportunity out there. Maybe we have to do a special night or something. We just talk about like military opportunities and like these data centers and X and SpaceX and these places that community, you can get in there and you can start bringing your real estate knowledge. You never know when these companies put out bids either. There are some places you can get, you can start looking at their websites like contracting and stuff. They bid out stuff. Pretty interesting. So cool, Matt. It's good to catch up with you as always. So let me go ahead and kind of go into a few things real quick, updates. And then if you guys want to talk any specific deals, we can. So anybody that's not an Agents Gather yet, go to agentsgather.com, open your free account. I know a few people are behind on that. I'm going to get Danny an update of like 10 or 12 people like Monday or Tuesday so we can get everybody updated to premium. Yeah, so you're going to get that free. And then if you guys want to do a call, I might try to do a group call with them where you can walk everybody through it. Everybody can just, hey, get on your if you're on your phone or, whatever you can do to be on your Agents Gather account, it's free and he's going to update you to premium for free. So you'll have access to that. And then we can talk about how to blow your business up. If you're in Wisconsin, or you can actually become like, he talks about doing like two things. One is your real estate business, what you're doing real estate wise. But if you're in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, tell everybody what's going on there, all your events and all what's happening in Sheboygan. What do you go to see? What do people come to do there? What do they do in Paris, Tennessee? They have a big fish fry every year, fishing contest. Put in like an Evergreen. I don't have to do it because Danny and I are from Evergreen and Danny already does it. So I'd be like duplicating what he does. What do people come to Evergreen for? My hometown. What do they come to Denver for? What do they go to San Francisco for? So you want to maybe even sometimes, because that'll direct you, get the hashtags, that'll start helping people connect with you, because when they start looking for tourism, some people start looking for real estate. So now you've got your real estate. If you're going to flip properties, you're going to have rental properties. That helps you blow up your real estate business as well. So you want to have two, and it's free. So you take advantage of it. He'll help you. He'll show you how to hashtag. He'll show you who's ChatGPT. You can generate a blog article. He'll show you how to modify it. So when you upload it and how you upload it, you can put backtracks in it back to your Facebook account, your website, anything, contact information, put your picture in there. You end up being like published. So all of a sudden now you're published. And that helps you, you think about how much that credibility that gives when people look for, they're in Ohio, they're going to find Sean. They're in Springfield or St. Louis, they're going to find our people there. They're in Waco, Kenny, they're going to come to, what do people do in Waco? Go to Baylor, go watch football games in Baylor, go to the sports, their basketball team is great too. What do they do there? And then it helps you with your business if you're in Waco, if you're in San Antonio, if you're in wherever you're at. So set up two tracks, set up one for like a tourism kind of thing. That's going to bring a lot of people too. They're going to find you, and they're going to be like, I'm actually not coming here. I'm coming here for recreation, but I'm actually planning on moving here. And maybe I'm going to get relocated, and they connect with you. Maybe it doesn't happen right now. Maybe 6 months from now, you're going to call out of the blue and somebody's buying a house from you. So you want to think about these little things that you can take advantage of, and you can build up a pretty nice place, a nice presence, and that helps you with credibility and helps you with credibility to everybody. So that's on Agents Gather. Now, LearnDash, you guys, I'm not going to really get too much into actually LearnDash itself. We're going to have two modules systems there. One's learning modules. I'll talk about that in a second. The other one's going to be communities. Communities don't worry about until like maybe January. Eventually, everybody will have communities. There'll be multifamily communities. I talked about the spider web. If you guys are doing specific things, a specific kind of investing. If people are doing lease to owns, rent to owns, there's a couple of people in our group doing those. There could be a group for that, and you guys can make your learning modules. So you make your own learning modules. They would conform to what LearnDash requires for their, what you can do for videos. Like on Agents Gather, you can pretty much upload a YouTube video. You can upload a few other things, but it's kind of restricted to what Danny's provider requires. But we want everybody to have the opportunity to build your own community there, and then you get monetized. And then Daniel, and I will take a little cut off the top, but then you guys will get like 90% or 80, something like that, where you can monetize your own community as well. And you could do videos. People could go watch a video for 99 cents. And that could be all the time, or people $1.99, $2.99, or you could do it monthly, or you could do like what we're doing. So you guys all have everybody that came into the associates group, and that was really up to about June 1st. A couple of people into June, but have the revenue share. Everybody else in Reindeer has an opportunity to upgrade in January. You'll have an opportunity to upgrade, and you'll have that window open for 60 days. And that's $299 extra. Now, there's going to be some things that I'll do to help people. People are particularly active, and they can really bring value to the group. We're going to consider some waivers on that, because we're going to build subscriptions, guys, and that's going to open in October 1st. And subscriptions are going to be $99 a month, and it's not. I don't think anybody in here is going to be. You guys are subscribers for life, so you already have free access. You're going to have free access. So subscriptions will actually be $99 a month. We're going to subtract $30 of that per prescription, and we're going to pay that revenue share to the associates. And then we're going to take $15 a month per prescription and pay that into a pool for guides. So you have an opportunity. If you're just in Reindeer, you're not in the associates, you could actually be a guide. Like I said, that's the beginning of monetization. We go out and build, we got 20, 25, 30 guides covering different, we don't want anybody covering more than about 4 or 5 areas. It's just bandwidth. But if you're really strong in an area and you want to put your own learning modules together, all the 100 level will be open to everybody in our group and all the subscribers. Then the 200, 300, like college, it's going to be like community college, trade school. You got the 300 level, the 400 level. Those could be where you can start building your community and building up your own presence. It's all volunteer. It's all voluntarily. And we're going to do a few communities to show people the monetization. That monetization stuff's probably not going to happen until closer to 2026. The goal is when I wake up on New Year's Day on January 1st, 2030, we want to have 10,000 monthly subscriptions. Because at that point, I'm kicking $300,000 a month back to people in the group. I'm kicking $150,000 a month back to people in the group, guides, and we're going to be spending another probably 100,000 a month on family offices. I'm getting more of these family office and hedge fund contacts. We're getting another 30,000 of them. We're going to be going to MPLA, National Private Lenders Association, Pitbull. We'll be going to those. Next year we'll be sponsoring 3. We'll take at least one person. Rest of those people can go if they want on the, because of the sponsorship, they let us have 3 people at our booth, up to 5. So sometimes we'll hire some, talent to help, stack the booth while we're out, BSing. The first one I'm going to go to just as an attendee. I sponsored one in 2019. It's super pricey to even go, but we're going to be going to family office and hedge fund events as well, hobnobbing with the people bringing back contracts. There's a lot of family offices, guys. If you see my post recently, the number of family offices, and if you guys need, what I can post exactly what the term is, but the number of family offices has tripled since 2019. Why? People don't want to be investing their money through the conventional systems that are out there. So they want to invest their money themselves, the super wealthy, the ultra wealthy. So they've gone up there's almost a 21% increase in, and this is from the Family Office Club, which is Richard Wilson. There's a 21% increase in assets under management, the money under management by family offices. That does not include hedge funds. It does not include, other like pension funds and endowment funds. That is strictly family offices. A 21% increase in the amount of money that they are managing because they want to manage their own money. You go out to like you got a Briscoe family. I did my big deal with Kogo back, that I did. The Kogo talks about. It wasn't done with Kogo, but with my client and Briscoe. The Briscoe family was a family office. Mr. Briscoe, the great grandfather or whatever in the late 1800s, he was one of the right hand men to Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie. If you guys ever watched the History Channel and the Men Who Built America, and they talk about Carnegie, Mr. Briscoe's in there. He's like one of his right hand men. So the Briscoe family made their money in steel, just like Carnegie steel. So where do they put their money now? Now 2, 3, 4, 5 generations later, the Briscoe family is still worth hundreds of millions, probably over $1 billion. They're going to invest their money in a family office. Kevin's family is like that too. Guys, his family's big in automotive and commercial real estate in Denver. They own a shit ton of, and I'm sorry for that word, but it's true. It's a lot of commercial real estate that I grew up driving past when I was a kid. And car dealerships. I bought a car from his family back in the 1994 when I was in the Army. So these are super ultra wealthy families that need to invest their money. So we're going to be going to a lot of the conferences. Obviously, we got a cut on it. I don't make anything from the loans. I try to make that clear to everybody. The loans that Gwen does, none of the lending that goes on in our group, we're making a cent from. Neither Kevin, Jesse, or I. We're trying to it helps us kind of stay above it and kind of be able to be neutral. And we do monitor it. We do make sure everybody's doing everything up and up. We do have an ethos. I'm gonna, I've published the ethos a few times. We're gonna put an ethics committee together. Probably after Ari does his program, which now I'm going to talk about. So next week, I know Kenny, we're talking about calculators. We're going to go over the calculators in a little bit more in depth next week on Monday and Thursday, show you the calculators and analyzes we have. And then probably do that a couple of times into August. Ari's going to come back and he's going to teach from the CCIM program. And forgive me, I know somebody will correct me if they know it. I always forget exactly what it stands for. But if you're dealing with big skyscrapers or big, huge commercial, big industrial complexes, your CCMs are at the top of the food chain as far as people doing the underwriting and analysis. Ari's going to do about 4 to 6 hours over 3 or 4 nights. They're going to be unrecorded. What we want is we want everybody to feel comfortable taking those, participating in those in a workshop session where you can ask your questions. you can make mistakes. We want you to make mistakes in that setting, because we talk about you knowing your numbers and having your numbers right, because you don't want to turn in a deal to Gwen where it's over leveraged because she's going to turn you down. A lot of people are turning in over leveraged deals, especially dealing with the gator lenders and people like that. They're getting over leveraged. So Ari's going to go and he's going to teach about 4 to 6 hours, and it's they're not going to be recorded. We don't want people to feel like, we want you to feel like you're comfortable. You can make a mistake, you're not being graded, but if we want you to come out of it like being that much smarter. And this is some more advanced stuff. So it's not saying that anybody's isn't, like Willie has this saying, if the deal doesn't suck, we can probably find the bucks. This is going to be a process to unsuck a lot of deals. And I'm not saying that anybody has deals in here that suck. It's mostly the ones that suck are the ones that I see from people outside the group. Trust me, there's a lot of them. People inside the group do things right. And I can tell you, there's great feedback from Gwen. Zeke's on right now, guys. Zeke just came on. Zeke just did his first deal with Gwen on loaning EMD and just got repaid. Great deal, wasn't it? Yeah, you're doing another one. So he had his first EMD deal. Ginger did her first deal. Cool. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. I'll reach out to you. We'll talk more about what you want to do. Yeah. So guys, we have a lot of opportunities like with Gwen and some other EMD and gap lenders. Gwen's got a great program. If you got a small amount you want to lend out, but you don't want to, if you don't necessarily have the time, or you don't want to go through due diligence, and you want to, put some trust in her. She's already making people money. You can loan as little as $1,000. You can loan gap money. You can do EMD. Anybody who wants to do that, I can connect with Gwen. We've got Ryan, we've got Jackson, we've got Paul, we've got some other people, Ari. We got some new people that just come in the last couple of days. You met Dominic, Philip Sparks joined yesterday. Got I think one more person coming in lending, and then I think I kind of tell you how we're doing the ratio. I'm trying to make sure we have capacity, and then I can. Hopefully, we're trying not to bring too many people in one time. I'm trying to cap around 25 to 30 people a month. I don't want to have so many people join. There's no capacity. I don't want to have people. I want to have people come in right away if they have a good deal, making sure we have capacity. Also making sure that the lenders come in and they know they can do deals in this group, and they can get good deals, and they know their money is going to be repaid. That's important to me, to making sure it's both ways. And you guys all build up. I mean, it's like, even if you never do deals together, you guys have still like having partners. You got people to advise you, people that share information, people that cheer you on. Everybody here wants everybody to succeed, because you never know when you're gonna, or you never know when you and Sheena are gonna do a deal. It might not be for 3 more years, but you guys get to be friends in here in 3 years. You guys known each other, and hey, let's do a deal. That's what I want. I want to have that's what I built. This whole thing came out of me being frustrated. And Kevin can tell you when he first met me, how I was frustrated being a private money broker, because I just saw so many people being taken advantage of both ways. Lenders, fake lenders, pretty much, but a lot of people that just didn't get good information. Like you guys have seen me post once in a while in the middle of the night. You guys are like, "Hey, Nate posted like 10 times in the middle of the night." I wake up at like 2:30 and I got thoughts in my head. So like a lot of people, and I said one of them is, we're flooded with information, but we're deprived of wisdom. Like you guys are, everybody here is in groups with real estate group, 50,000 people. How much bad information do you guys see and you cringe over? And you want to say something, but then 10 other people are going to jump on you. Even if you're right, they're going to think, so it's like, that's where I got frustrated at as a private money broker. And then I'm coming out of COVID like everybody else. And I kind of feel bad when I tell people, I was frustrated. The whole world got shut down. So it's not just me but when I came out of COVID, this group developed, and it wasn't going to be this direction. We weren't going to have all the lending. We weren't going to have everything. We're a mastermind. We're just talking. Zeke was here. Doris is here. Sean Driscoll was here. We had a lot of people that were here. We didn't have Gwen on board yet. We didn't have Life Changing on. All of a sudden these guys came, and it's like, holy crap, I can do everything. I don't have to have a lending group. I don't have to have a mastermind group kind of thing. And I don't have to be building private money universities separately. Let's just have one entity and do everything. So I apologize for the long speech, you guys. If some of you have heard this before. I just like to try to make sure new people hear it. Like I said, my motivation every day is your success. It's, and I'm pretty happy with the way things are going now. I think it's just trying to, obviously we're going to activate Reindeer next week. I'll be spending a lot of time in the afternoon, because you guys know my schedule in the morning. I post a lot. I do my marketing in the afternoon. I'm doing phone calls, building content, and then the 2 Zooms a week. So kind of assume at night if it's not a Zoom, I'm kind of like taking personal. I do have to take some time away. So with that said, guys, if anybody has anything else they want to, talk about or open up about, if you guys got any questions, I'll make all the connections in the morning. I try to get everything processed tonight. Like, if I turn the recording off, it starts processing right away. And I want to get it up so you guys, people who aren't on, can watch it. Never feel bad if you have to miss, because you guys have lives, you have your closing, you have your deals you're doing, your family, a lot of people still have W-2 or their other businesses. So just know that we've always got a recording, we've always got people to help. And I tell people, I'm going to re-emphasize before I check out with Kevin one more time and then see if anybody has anything. I always make sure that I want you guys to know that there's 2 things to do when you have a deal: post in the group, and then come on at least 1 or 2 Zooms around that time you start talking to people about funding the deal or what you need for funding wise, lending wise, and all that resources right around the time you're about to put your offer in. Don't wait till your offer is in or it's been accepted because you've already lost some time. Get in like right away, because everybody in the group, nobody here is going to tell you, oh, you don't have anything under contract. A lot of lenders are like, bring it once under contract. Life Changing will work with you. Casey and Addison, they'll work with you and help you they may even help you review your deal before you put the offer in. And they can go, hey, we're going to do it at this. It's going to be this. This is what and you make your offer and if your seller says yes, they've already pretty much seen it and they're going to say yes. It's going to go to their underwriter and they're going to be like, you're done. You got a good done deal. So we want people, as soon as you really know what you're looking at putting an offer in, reach out to the group, do some Zooms, put some information out. Let the group go to work for you and try to, help you out, get your deal in the pipeline. Because we want you to close deals. I mean, we want everybody to be Pippa. Or she's got 4 rental properties and on her 3rd flip. Or everybody that's working with Gwen, they're getting their deal, they're getting their funding, they're getting their ROI. So if you guys assume you did an EMD deal and not a gap. You did EMD, right? Not gap.
You talking to me, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was EMD.
Okay, cool. How long did your deal take? For the
It was a month. The first one was a month. This second one is only a 3-week.
So that's pretty good. I mean, having a good experience from the get-go helps to build confidence. And Gwen knows what she's doing. So that's a good thing. Everybody in the group can have confidence in Gwen if you want to work with her. That's probably the best thing if they're new, if you don't want to have to go through all the stuff yourself. She's got a network. She's got people in the group. She's got people outside the group. So she has a lot of clients as well. Because sometimes she posts it. She tells me, I'm like, they're not in the group. But I care about them as well because, sometimes she's using the money for people in the group. So it's a good opportunity. That'll just increase as well by the time we got Reindeer going. We'll have, we're going to have a huge, I think we'll overtake the Gators pretty quick. Because people will be coming to us and they'll be like, I don't have to pay 100% or I'm not loaning in 4th position, where you're going to get wiped out if you're in loaning in 4th position. If anything goes bad, you're like the first one to get cut out, so in 2nd position, you're secure pretty much. You can count on being involved. It's when you start doing the stupid things, things can go south. But yeah, that's a good deal. Pretty happy for you, Zeke. I'll text you tomorrow on the update from Benson, because I did talk to him again yesterday, and I just want to let you know what he said. So I'll do that. I'll keep it between us. And then he did say he'll contact you to invite you on a YouTube, because they do a privy on, so on free, and he'll go through some cool stuff for you and
Okay.
show you. He wants to show it to the whole group, because he's got so many people in privy. He doesn't have really time to pull away. That's eventually, unfortunately, I'm going to be that way too. I want to have a lot. I'm always going to make time. He does too, but yeah, it's just a time management thing at some point. So let me check out with Kevin, guys. If anybody has anything, we'll use the raise your hand feature before I do cut off the recording. But Kevin, you got anything to add?
I'm not really, outside the fact that, this is the time to be able to get everything set up while you still can and things are, relatively calm. And everybody that's going to be involved in this is going to have a chance to be able to actually shape what's going to be happening going forward. So it's definitely a different dynamic, and it's one that I think is going to last. And to be able to counteract all the scam artists and all the idiots that are out there, I'm telling you, that's what I'm looking forward to, being a part of that, you know.
Well,
So
and I joke about like, hey, you know, eventually we'll have thousands of people in the group, and people, everybody
yeah,
outside the
it's
group,
not a joke.
everybody,
It's gonna
everybody
happen.
outside the group will think we're ghosting them, and yeah, we
Yeah.
are because we're doing deals with each
But
other.
this has been in the works since 2010, not 2019, the way Nate
Yeah.
tells me.
Well,
So, you know,
I've been
that's a
working
lot,
on it since
that's a lot
19.
in there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
see, Gwen's been involved in it just as long as I have, you know, same situation. So this is really going to be interesting to see how it comes together. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody does and you know, see this thing actually take off, put some sanity back into things. So that's about all I got, Nate.
All right. Well, everybody else, I mean, if you got anything you know to reach me, I'll make all the connections in the morning. I'll be processing tonight. Video should be up within an hour, hour and a half. I'll post on Agents Gather if you got the Agents Gather there. Also, I'm going to post tomorrow my link on Agents Gather, my own link, so you guys can find me once you're there, and then I can, if I need to help you get to our group there, because it's a private group. It was a secret group, but it was just a pain in the ass. It's kind of like our group. You know, when you used to, well, Zeke probably remembers when he joined, it took me like 3 or 4 different ways to get him in the group. Had to send an invitation, had to send a QR code. One of those 4 or 5 different ways got him in the group. It's just Facebook doesn't make it easy, which is it's a good thing when you're hidden and you're private. You don't want people. I don't want people to find it that aren't, you know, that aren't part of the group. Um, and that's the same thing on Reindeer. And Reindeer eventually will be so secure. You know, like I joked about just now, we're going to be have so much going on and so many people that everybody outside the group's going to be like, "Where is everybody?" Like, you know, we want groups are going to be out there like these guys got it going on. Well, guess what? Pay your $99, come in for a month and see what. And if you don't like it, quit. You know, there's no fine print. There's a cancel button there. In 2026, there's going to be a pause button. I just paused my my Hulu because nothing's good on Hulu for a couple months, so I don't have to pay for Hulu till October 1st. I don't can't watch anything new, but when it's paused, I'm also not losing what I've already like saved movie wise and all that stuff because I used to watch a lot of the old MASH stuff. Everybody loves MASH. I love the old MASH stuff, so I watch a lot of stuff on Hulu, and they have some cool stuff. And you know, I got Netflix for $4.99 just to watch Beverly Hills Cop 4, but I was like, otherwise, if I went to the movie theater, I would have paid like $20. They didn't have it in the movie theater. So we're gonna have a pause feature. We're gonna have cancel. People will get the little thing that you guys get when you cancel stuff, you know, why you're canceling isn't, you know, things like that. But people just want to cancel. It's like, cool, you cancel, you're done. You come back anytime. You know, if you want to subscribe, it's $99 a month. You know, I think it's the best, it's going to be the best deal out there. And we're going to be able to cover, people can come in, they can take, you know, 5 of you guys could be doing the flip stuff and teaching people how to flip. So you got 10 or 12 of your own videos, 10-minute videos, 20, whatever. People can bounce around. You're going to get revenue as a guide. You're getting revenue as an associate already. I mean, you start getting that little extra mailbox money. We'll kick in mailbox money. That'll start as soon as we have 100 subscribers. And Paul will come on board. He'll set up everybody on Square payroll. He'll go in and hit everybody down the line. You'll start getting a monthly, and every month it should increase. And every month, and after another year, 2026, we get it, you know, maybe get it to 1,000, 2,500, 5,000. Do the math. $30 a month, $15 a month per subscription. That adds up. You know, you get 10,000 subscribers. I'm thinking 300,000 a month to 125 people. That's a pretty good. You know, get a little bit of mailbox money. A lot of people can pay some bills with that or whatever. Come visit me at Evergreen. You can come drink Angry Elk with Kevin and I at Lariat, and then you can mess with Danny. You know, Highland Haven, which ironically was kind of good thing Mike Lee didn't come out because it was booked. I looked at the schedule when you were thinking about coming out, and there was no rooms there. You could get like one room for the cabin for like one night, and you have to move to the next. We had that same problem back when Osmium came out. Like literally, the cabins are all booked, and they had to move. So some people like Tia had to move. She had to stay somewhere else. Kevin had to stay somewhere else. I stayed with my parents, but yeah, Evergreen doesn't have a lot of hotel space. It's mostly bed and breakfast. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy, guys. I appreciate tonight's work. Anybody need anything, LaShonda, Sheena, since you guys are newer, just hit me up on Messenger if you need anything. I'll make connections for you. Everybody else kind of knows how to get a hold of me. Zeke, I'll follow up with you tomorrow. Michael, I'll follow up with you. Matt, we'll talk government contracting. Been a while. I'll be really rusty, but at least I kind of can go back because I know the government changes everything once in a while. Yeah, we're good. All right, man. I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna sign off for the night. I'll talk to everybody later. See you guys Monday night and Thursday night next week, and we're good. And then we're gonna be in August. So cool. All right, talk to everybody later.